So hello, my name is Georgia Reynolds. I'm 18 years old and I'm a student at Solent University studying media production. And here I am, 3 years on, only 20 years old, months away from graduation. So I want to tell you about my journey with work experience. I have put countless hours into self-care, uni work, work experience, routines, the whole lot, and especially my YouTube channel. And that leads me to 2025. Over 300 hours of work experience and a whole new drive to get into the industry. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about my 3 most important work experiences and my self-development throughout. Starting work experience was so daunting, but I knew it was something I had to do and I knew deep down I did want to do it. Since the first, I have led and been a part of so many projects to do with all sides of the production process. I'm going to be talking to you about the experiences I feel held a real turning point in me shaping my future plan. To kick this off, I've come back to where it all started for me. It's the Bugle House! Welcome to Southeast Fellows Festival, an empowering event focused on innovation, discussion and workshops. An event hosted by the Royal Society of Arts with help from Southampton's BPIC Centre. This event's theme was courage. In February 2024, myself, Brandon Whittakenny and Jamie Kipling did the videography for the Southeast Fellows Festival at the Bugle House in Southampton. And this is the car park that I parked in before starting the work experience, so I thought it'd be nice to come back and sort of talk about it to you here. So you may be wondering, how did this event go? It included a lot of preparation beforehand. Chris introduced us to tools like Notion, which sort of helped us plan and organise our responsibilities for the event, learn how to adapt to problems on set. Us 3 ended up working really closely with Chris over the year. We worked a further 2 events with him, which were really enjoyable. Doing this really made me understand just how important networking is, because a lot of it is experience and the sort of skills you need to know for it, but also networking, word of mouth is honestly so important. As according to CNBC, 70% of all jobs are not published publicly, and 80% of jobs are filled through personal contacts. It also helped my overall confidence once I sort of beat the nerves. I always struggle with my confidence with new situations, so the fact I conquered this and then was like, I want to do more, I've just got to beat the nerves. It did a lot for my self-development, which I think is another really important aspect to focus on. As self-development is crucial in finding your career because it allows you to deeply understand your strengths, weaknesses, passions and values. Even as my first work experience, it really helped me start shaping my plan for post-graduation. Chris loved our work so much as a team that he's left us stunning references on LinkedIn. So what I want to say is thank you, Chris. You have helped us so much. And now I'm going to sit back and admire this view, probably for the last time. So I'm going to hand over to you, Georgia 2. The Goat, a small coffee shop with a unique buzz. It stands in Wareham with its extremely friendly service, unique bold branding and good prices. In October 2024, I approached The Goat for a university project. I took on a producer role in this project to create a Christmas advert surrounded by a social media campaign. So obviously you're probably thinking, this isn't The Goat. I really wanted to do this at The Goat too. Anyways, back to it. I want to tell you about my experience at The Goat. So you may be wondering, how did this project go? I took on an influencer role, but it literally was everything. So hiring crew, extras, consent forms, locations, post-production, just the list goes on really. But it was a super valuable experience and this is why I think it's helped me learn so much. After all, a quote from Careers Writers Association proves this by saying, 40% warn that graduates who have had no previous work experience at all have little chance of receiving a job offer for their graduate programs. I think it just says for itself. Also on this project, I had to work very closely with the client and luckily the Goat client had a vision. This was really helpful for me, but it also meant I had to work harder to achieve his vision. Working with the client to visualize their ideas builds a strong relationship which can sort of push further than just that project. Proven by this quote, a strong relationship can help you build up knowledge about a client's unique circumstances. In turn, you'll be better equipped to solve problems and apply this learning to other clients. Another thing I learned a lot about was budget. It ended up costing more than I thought it would be. We really wanted a drone videographer and this wasn't one-sided, I really wanted to make this happen. I did find a guy who was happy to do it for £75. In the future, I will do what's called a memorandum of understanding. This will help me be more assertive in terms of budget and not sort of lose out myself. On top of this, external opinions I've learned are essential. This project was very testing on my patience at times, but I think this is just learning to work with clients in general. However, next time I've learned, I'm going to be straight to the point. I'm going to prepare for budget issues and using an MOU, which I think will come in very handy. And I've also learned that free coffee tastes better. Cheers! My Cause UK, a charity based in Bristol who allow you to volunteer at festivals on a budget. For just £250, you can sign up to as many festivals as you want. It would have been really cool to go back to Winchester and do this shot, but I don't really have time now. I live at home. It was really interesting to see how this work experience came around. Basically, I was going through a really hard time in first year of university, and I just saw the advert on my Instagram one day, and it was just one of those things that stuck in my head. And I was asking who wants to go with me, and one of my friends who I wasn't that close with at that point said yes, and it was such a bonding experience and we had the best time ever. And I guess my journey was sort of birthed from that point onwards. So you may be wondering, how did this go? I essentially made a video for them. They noticed it, really liked it, and contacted me through it. Since I've made a few videos for them and they've gained a pretty decent amount of attention online. And I guess I've just really enjoyed the whole experience with them, so it's definitely something that I'd like to go into in the future. And since they have asked me to become an official content creator for them, and so that is this year's plan. It helped me learn more about the freelancer process, as well as just putting everything that I know I've learned into practice. And genuinely, working with My Cause UK has been such a fun experience. Not only do I get to do something I enjoy work-wise and see my friends at some of the festivals, so I'm really excited to actually involve this in my future plan. Everything like this was once out of my comfort zone, from volunteering with Just Beth 2 years ago and being freshly 18 and being absolutely terrified of what Boomtown was like. Compared to now, I'm preparing to go and work festivals alone, which is crazy, really. My experience with My Cause UK and a lot of things I've done has just proved to me that I should keep doing these scary new things, because they won't be so scary eventually. I want to carry on this flexible way of thinking because it invites so many opportunities into my life. And speaking of flexible thinking, I've been doing some research. Sourced from Psychology Today. Doing something new to develop flexible thinking can be simple, like trying an ice cream flavour you've never had before or learning a game you've never played before. And it is truly as simple as that. I don't think I've ever been upset at myself for pushing my comfort zone. Obviously there are the times where it doesn't go to plan, but at least you can say to yourself, well, at least I tried. I think it's so cool that in less than 3 months' time, I'm gonna be walking around owning a degree that I've earned. I think the challenges, mental, the personal or career-wise, every sort of challenge that uni has thrown at me in some way, shape or form has made this so valuable. Soon university will just be a distant memory, which is crazy because I'm just going to be a normal person and not a student anymore. Which is why I need a plan, which is what I will tell you about in my next video. So, see you next week.